welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and we are about to embark in uncharted territory with our intro banter.
What?
We're beginning a 3-part series.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Yes, that's right. A 3-part series about pizza.
Pizza. One of my favorite subjects.
Oh, it is, right? I mean, pizza's delicious.
Yeah. My all-time favorite food.
There's maybe one of the big delivery chains I will not mention. I'm not a big fan of their pizza. But I'm a big fan of others. But we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from northeastern Pennsylvania. One of the great, beautiful areas of pizza, Old Forge Pizza. We're about an hour and a half west of New York City. So yes, if you're a big New York City pizza fan, great. But I grew up, pizza was a staple. My father proposed to my mother in a pizza joint.
Whoa.
Fort Cafe,
which
is in 40 Fort, Pennsylvania. Go there.
Yeah.
I hope it's still there. Hope it's still open. It's amazing. Pizza's amazing. Pizza plays a pivotal role in the next 3 minutes.
That's true. and in several other, the Marvel films.
Oh yeah,
well.
not just not this film.
Right, yeah. Pizza's a big thing.
It plays some really great parts and some parts that I may get frustrated. I may have to walk off set.
What? No, don't walk off set.
It's not this. I don't think it's this minute.
Okay.
But there will be a minute.
Getting there? Okay.
I'm going to get really frustrated.
Yeah,
I may get frustrated in this minute because there's something else that happens that I've had enough of.
I'm all inclusive in terms of pizza because I grew up in Chicago, so Chicago pizza.
So
there.
you're the deep dish.
No, but see that's the thing. I like some Chicago pizza, but I like New York pizza. I like frozen pizza. I'm when it comes to pizza, I'm open to all pizza opportunities.
You're just
agnostic. I was trying to think if that's the right word or not, but inclusive is what I'll say. I'm pizza inclusive.
Oh yes,
right. Put a piece of pizza money, I will eat it.
Let us know what your favorite toppings are for your pizza.
Right.
If it's anything other than jalapenos and sliced sausage, I don't want to talk to you.
You can keep you olive people. You can just stay quiet.
Oh, forget you.
Yeah.
Olives.
I don't want to hear about it.
No,
I don't want to hear about it.
No, those only belong in a dish on the table with celery and carrots.
Exactly. Like pineapple people, you're welcome, but olive people, you can stay home. Create your own forum. Create your own podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Stay quiet. I'm just kidding. We love all of you. All right, so let's get into it. So
yeah, let's find out what am I talking about here?
Pizza?
What is this?
Pizza is going to be a pain. But first, heartbreak.
Oh.
So minute 37 of Louis Leterrier's 2008 Incredible Hulk movie begins with Bruce coming to a realization that Betty has moved on. No. Poor stalker Bruce, dumbstruck with pain.
His face.
Yes.
At the beginning of this
full-on Ross David Schwimmer blank statement of
yes.
What?
Like what?
Yeah.
You moved on?
Yeah.
And I just have a hat and a shirt with nothing else.
My pockets are empty.
Come on.
I spent all the pesos that kid gave me in Chiapas.
But you know what though? But the guy that she's gonna go with, I would assume, is just an awesome dude.
I would guess. I mean, he's got a cool vest.
He's got a vest and a shirt
and dark hair.
Do we see anything else?
Sideburns.
He's got sideburns.
That's it.
But that's all we see.
As he walks away, we can see they're about the same height.
We can make no assumptions.
Nope. He's well to do, it seems. But he and Bruce are wearing the same blue shirts. So apparently, she likes guys in blue shirts.
That's a stretch.
And that's pretty much all we know about
she's
this
happy,
guy.
Though. She's very happy.
Yeah, she's very happy. They seem to be very happy together. And we see nothing of this guy. They're holding hands as they're walking away. And Bruce literally steps out onto the street, removes himself from his oh-so-clever hiding spot, and then watches them walk away. And then has that moment of, well, I guess I'm glad she's happy. I mean, he's the lonely man.
He really is.
Yeah.
We have too many buttons on the thing, and I'm just like, I don't know.
So obviously Betty has moved on. She's in a happy place in her life, and that's the end of it. It's like, okay, well, I guess Betty's happy, then I can go back to my original plan and, move on with my...
I'm really getting... I got to lay this down right now.
Yeah.
I'm getting disgusted.
Oh, disgusted?
Because how much more can this man take?
Well, in this point, like it's like, oh, the girl I love, she's not with me anymore. Okay, but it seems like he comes to the realization that at the end of it, he's accepted it and moved on. But
I haven't moved on. We're only in minute 37.
Right.
We know his newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
That was the only thing keeping him moving towards finding a cure. And now we have this ridiculously, again, well-composed shot. Thank you, Mr. Norton. Of them holding hands, looking lovingly to one another, walking away into the distance.
Yeah.
Bruce is left alone, heartbroken, even to the point that they've, like, you think I've said is you put out, like, feathers so that they float all around him.
All the stuff that you see flying by, that's actually, the production crew are off stage with fans and feathers, like making it look like it's pollen.
When he steps out onto the sidewalk to watch them walk away again, second unit, because no words are spoken.
Right.
This is Ed Norton doing this. This is a beautiful shot of them. This would be a perfect ending to a love movie.
Yes. And it's like they're in their own movie.
Right? This is gorgeous.
Yeah,
and then he throws the feathers to make it look like pollen, or maybe like the wisps of his last throes of hope that they're just circling around him.
The tatters of his dreams blowing away.
This is ridiculous. Come on. He deserves better than
You know what he
this.
deserves? He deserves pizza.
Well, I mean...
So we cut to Stanley's Pizza Parlor. Now, this is actually the Stanley's Pizza was not real. They created that for this, and of course, the reason it's called Stanley's Pizza is
Stanley tools, screwdrivers, and
for the creator of Hulk, Stan
Oh,
Lee.
Stan Lee!
Stan Lee,
Yes,
See,
I got
Stan
it.
Lee's Hulk, right? So this actually was a real restaurant. It was called the Deluxe Restaurant. And it was the Deluxe Restaurant for a while until it went out of business, and it was bought by a place called the Bangkok Spoon, which is still in operation in Hamilton, Ontario. How did I know this? Because of a brilliant website that I discovered called the MCU Location Scout.
That's a great site.
It's a great site, and because they not only do that, they for all the MCU things, they actually will find the real locations on Google Maps and mark them. So you can bring up a full Google map, and I zoomed into Canada, and they have places all over that the Hulk was shot at. And because of Google's timeline feature, do you know about this?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can. So in Google's timeline feature, you can bring up a picture like from the street view, and then you can click on the little clock, and you can roll it back in time. So because Google has been doing this for a number of years, and you can go all the way back. Now unfortunately, the Google car did not drive by when Stanley's Diner was in effect for that month or whatever it was. But you can go back to see the Deluxe Diner and what it is. And
wow.
The nice thing about MCU Location Scout, those guys are great. The guys and gals, I'm not sure who runs the site. They've done the research, and they show you how they proved what you think it is, because at one point they actually do a shot from inside the building out, and you can see what's across the street. And so they did the street view and composed like what was across the street at the time and figured out exactly what the location was. I mean, they really did their work. So they made our job super easy.
One, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Check that out because that's cool.
Yeah.
Two, everything is known, right?
Right.
We now have the massive internets that have a copy of everything.
So any of you who are in, or around Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and you go downtown, you can find the Bangkok Spoon, and you could be eating right where Bruce meets up with Stanley.
Movie tourism, thanks
It's a real thing.
Well, one, it's a real thing. It's been a real thing for a while, but really has taken on a life of its own in the last maybe 5-10 years, thanks to the internet and specifically YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you can find so many people who they've made this their livelihood.
Yeah.
Going around and visiting all these different places. What's the coolest movie tourism you have ever done yourself?
That's probably New York. I found the Ghostbusters.
I was just about to say that's exactly what I was going to say.
Actually, the three things in New York that meant the most to me were the firehouse,
Ghostbuster Firehouse,
321 Spook Central, like basically Dana Barrett's apartment, which is interesting because they added the top like 10 floors to it.
Right,
so it's like it's not a very. I mean, for New York, it's a tall building, but like it's not as big as it looks in the movie because they probably painted the top floors onto it, and the entrance to the Men in Black headquarters in Battery Park.
Oh,
yeah, that was really neat. So, because it looks just like it does in all the movies too. So it was like, that's where Will Smith and those are the same trip, obviously. Those are my
the Ghostbusters
top
Firehouse.
Three. I know here in Arizona, we have the original Circle K from Bill and Ted. They shot here. You can actually, it's still in operation. You
Yes,
can actually
it
go to the
is.
original Circle K. Something's afoot at the Circle K. It's still, Circle K is still in
It's
operation.
surprising. Have they filmed anything new there?
I don't know for the sequel. I don't know if they came out for that or not. So I'm interested to see because supposedly, when you're listening to this, I'm not sure if it'll be out because I know it comes out in 2020.
Right.
But at this point we don't know. Bill and Ted Face the Music is coming out in 2020, and there is a scene where current 2020 Bill and Ted travel back and meet up with that same Bill and Ted who are about to start their excellent adventure. So I don't know if they recreated that, or if they went back to the original one, or they recreated it somehow digitally. But yeah,
awesome.
But yeah, so not a lot of stuff was shot here in Phoenix and surrounding thing. But
Well, I just want to say,
that's what we're all about.
that's right.
The more you know.
Exactly.
So back at Stanley's Pizza Parlor, Stanley is closing up shop. His last customers have gone out. Flips the close sign, and then some sketchy dude in a ball cap comes up.
And a denim jacket.
Yeah, that's new.
Right?
So he must have picked that up somewhere in his cross country travel from
Or he stole it on campus.
Right. That's possible
I did.
too. So,
Not just a creeper.
I was going to say
thievery.
how far your estimation of Bruce has gone from.
This better end on a high note because I'm tired of him getting just crapped on by life.
So and exactly, all he wanted was a slice of pizza, and he got there too late, and the place was closing, and so he's like trying, like, please, sir, may I have some pizza? And the guy's like, look at the sign, buddy, it says closed. And then finally gets attention, looks up, and realizes, oh, they know each other. Yeah, and so he still keeps it closed, but then opens the door and lets him in, and then sits down. And so this is Paul Soles. So Paul Soles is a Canadian actor, very respected. He, I believe, this year he turns 90, and he is still acting.
Oh, that's awesome.
He had just finished up a sitcom called My 90-Year-Old Roommate in Canada, like in I believe it was last year. He shot the last episode of it too, so he's still out there acting. But we actually there's two things I'm gonna tell you about. One, everyone knows who this man is, even if they don't know it, and I'm gonna tell you why. And two, there's a reason why he's in this movie. So first thing is, anyone of our generation, and subsequent as well, but from our parents and us, know this man because he has done a role that all of us heard every year around Christmas time.
What?
And I'm going to play it for you, a little bit of audio for it right now.
Do you mind telling me what you do want to do?
Well, sir, someday I'd like to be a dentist.
A dentist?
That's right. Paul Soles is the voice of Hermie,
What?
the elf who wants to be a dentist. From the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Rankin Bass animated special from, I think it was 66,
That's
65.
amazing.
Yeah, so he's part of Christmas lore. Like that special gets played. When we were growing up, every year it played it. They played it. So it was like a Christmas thing. Now it's less so because there's not as much of a place everyone
streaming.
goes
I mean,
to.
either get it or you buy it online.
But even my daughter discovered it. My 6-year-old discovered it this year and still is watching it. I mean, we are like well past Christmas and she's still watching it.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
But he's Hermie.
He's Hermie. Yeah, Hermie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But that's not why he's in this movie, even though he's a part of pop culture.
Because he's pizza. He's not a dentist.
Right, exactly, yeah. But the reason he is in this is because he had another voice acting gig with some distinction. So I'm going to play you a clip from that. But I'm going to tell you this just to prepare yourself. Okay, So remember, cultural mores are a little different now than they were then.
Then? And when we say then, what is then?
This is 1966.
Oh, things were different.
Things were a little different back then. So we're listening for the voice, not for the context, but we thought this was an interesting little time capsule into the idea of 66. So let me play this for you.
Hello, General Ross. Why the delay? What are you waiting for? Are you testing that bomb or not?
Precautions must be taken. We're tampering with powerful forces.
Don't lecture me, Banner.
Oh, Daddy, don't be so unfair. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Keep out of this, Betty. It's man talk.
So that was from the 1966 Marvel Superheroes animated show, the very first version of the Hulk that was ever sort of like shown on television beyond just the comic book. And Paul Soles was the original Bruce Banner.
What?
He's the first actor in the world to portray Bruce Banner.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so that's what you heard. Mostly it was a lot of Jenna Ross talking too, but I thought it was kind of funny just to hear Ross and Betty and that as we were watching a movie about both of them.
I was waiting for General Ross to just go, "Get out of here, Betty!" Smack.
I mean, 1966, it wouldn't have been out of place.
So, okay, now pre-show we had talked about this. I remember this show.
Yeah.
Because it has a wonderful jingle and a
Yes.
wonderful intro animation of kind of like a hopping Hulk, and he smashes tanks with his foot and his fist.
It's a very, very 60s
And
theme.
I was born
Yeah, we were well after this. It was
in the 70s.
Yeah.
However,
there was a big syndication.
Yes,
thing
it had to
happened
be
in
on
the
syndication
late
because
70s, early 80s.
absolutely a young little Rob remembers this.
I'd say, and so if anyone from Disney, any wing of that is listening, this is not commercially available anywhere.
Oh,
I tried to say, I'm like, I would be happy to give you my hard-earned money to own this in any form, and it's not available at all. These 1966 Marvel things, I don't know. I assume they just don't think there's a market for it. But they had a limited release on DVD, and I believe that I think I saw that they had included it as a bonus feature in one of the 2003 Hulk's releases, and then in Canada they released some of them too, but even those are way out of print now too. So I'm just saying, put them on iTunes, charge $10 for it or whatever, and then you'll sell a little bit, or put them on Disney Plus for.
Or
goodness
I was just
sake.
going to say, if only
you
there
have
was
a whole streaming service, right?
The home of all things Marvel,
right?
Maybe those could be a part of the Disney Plus premium service,
right? So anyone out there, like, you can't put Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus for lots of reasons, but there's nothing stopping you from putting the original 1966 Marvel's Heroes on there. So I'm saying, Paul Soles deserves your love. He's still around.
Way to go.
He's still doing conventions, like at 90. Like, man, this guy's got more energy at 90 than I do in my 40s.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
that is the reason why he's in this, and I gotta say, does a terrific job because he
Yes,
plays
he's
like
so
the
wonderful.
kindly old man, like he nails it. And so this is 2008, and he was probably in his.
This character may save me before giving up on what has become of Bruce Banner. Let's find out. So what happened?
Obviously, we now get to understand that Stanley has a history with Bruce and with Betty. So it looks like he was a shipper. Like Bruce and Betty used to come into the shop all the time, and so he says, I always liked you two together. So he was along the event. So I would say this is probably the only friend Bruce has left in town. I mean, this is like the one last guy he can talk to. And even this, he's probably killing him because I'm going to get this guy in trouble, but I got nowhere else to go. And also, I really want a slice of that pizza because Stanley's pizza is the best.
I would like to eat something,
Right?
except whatever I've been finding
Roadkill?
in
whatever
trash
he's been
cans
finding.
or other places.
Yeah. So we see him there, and of course Stanley has to ask, "Have you talked to her?" And Bruce says, "No, she doesn't know that I'm here." So we saw, obviously she was there. At any point, Bruce could have just walked over and be like, "Betty, guess who's back in town?"
No, he can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
Well, she wouldn't have recognized him with the hat on anyway.
Right, you would think, but she looked directly at him. But no, it turns out it wasn't. But. So yeah, and that's unfortunately where the minute 37 ends.
No, wait, that's where it ends?
That's where it ends.
What does he say?
He says, "No, she doesn't know that I'm here."
Okay, minute 38, it'll get better.
Maybe, but before we go, we need to find out what's happening. Meanwhile, in the MCU,
Is there breaking news on?
there is
on
not
where
breaking news, but it's like there's a lot has been happening.
Oh, that's right. Because meanwhile,
Yes, meanwhile, that's right. These are other things that have been happening in the MCU since we last checked in with it. So this night. So what's interesting about this night in particular is that if they had turned on the news, there would have been a huge news story. Like right now, they're having their nice conversation. It's closing time. It's probably 10 o'clock or so.
Sure.
I don't know when Stanley's closes, but I'd say probably around there. If they had flipped on the news, there would have been a huge news story on right now. Because at the same time this is happening, this is the same night as the battle at Stark Expo.
Wait, from Iron Man 2?
From Iron Man 2.
What?
The drones and Whiplash
Yes.
and War Machine getting in action for the first time. That is happening at the same time as this conversation with Stanley and Bruce.
And even where little Peter Parker has a...
And yeah, that's right. Supposedly another retcon thing that's they say that's Peter Parker.
Wow.
And another retcon we're going to be seeing here the next couple of minutes.
Now that's a good way to. Okay, obviously when they were making this was
sure,
right. This was not. This was just a glimmer in the eye of.
Oh,
some
of course. I mean, like
people.
that hadn't even been written at that.
But
point.
You're okay. I mean, like obviously they didn't turn the TV on, so we don't have to worry about that.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's perfectly fine. Everything continues as it should. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, so you can also think that all the events, then like the Tony Stark getting drunk, and then Rhodey taking the armor. Did he steal it? Was he allowed to take it?
Spoilers.
Let's see. We'll see that in the next season of Marvel Movie Minute,
Season 3.
But that is happening. That has already happened in the time that Bruce has been traveling across the country. All the events of and also now some Thor stuff has been happening at the same time too.
Oh.
So in the time, Jane Foster and Eric Selvig are now in New Mexico and studying environmental phenomenons because something weird is happening there. Meanwhile, in Asgard, Thor is being manipulated by Loki to go and visit Jotunheim and start fights with the ice giants there.
It's all happening.
It's all happening at the same time. Agent Coulson has been on the move. I mean, like there's Black Widow has now been fully deployed, and so she's fighting her way into Hammer headquarters. I mean, all this is happening approximately within the last couple of days going up to this.
Wow. Okay.
And so they say that this is all happening on May 31st, 2010. So that's where we are in the timeline right now. Is we are May 31st, 2010.
Oh wow! Just after Memorial Day and. Stuff's afoot.
Right. So, yeah, it's a lot of events happening in the MCU right
cool.
now.
That's a cool
as Bruce
thing to
is
know.
like, hanging out in Virginia, not like just up the coast a bit.
Well, that's a perfect time to be.
Oh, actually, no, I'm taking it back. It's on the other coast. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so I'll say then for nitpickers out there, I don't know what the time change would be. So maybe that had already happened earlier. But I could tell you, if they had turned on the television, that would have been the top story.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Justin Hammer dancing.
I want to find out what happens to him in this conversation.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens
with
at the end
Stanley.
of this. Yeah, Stanley and Bruce having their quiet conversation while drones are flying over and destroying the Stark Expo.
I just want Bruce to be happy.
Don't we all? Isn't that the end goal of all of this?
Yes.
We'll find out what happens in minute 38.
All right.
So, well, thank you all for listening. If you want to keep the conversation going, you can do so over in Discord. Yes, that's right. We have our own Discord chat room. If you head to thenextreel.com and follow the link, you can join us there. We have a dedicated Marvel Movie Minute Hulk chat thing. You can talk all about the show and what we've been talking about and give your sad sack Bruce stories that you can go along with.
Movie tourism,
pizza,
Hulk
stash.
We have so many things to discuss. Hulk stash. You just pulled that. Oh, hold on. It's Hulk stash is coming back.
That's right. Hulk stash is coming back. Hulk stash. All right. So thank you all for listening. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.